Hey there, LA. No, 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 not today. The Philadelphia 76ers have won the NBA draft lottery. Oh, what an amazing day. Dikembe Mutombo tweeted it out hours ago. The news was leaked apparently somehow, and Sixers have the number one pick. Kyle Gaffner is here. I'm Adrian Fedke. We got it. We won. It's awesome.
We finally got it. The anticipation is over, and we can finally know where we're picking. I mean, I love it. I'm so excited for this. We haven't had it in 20 years. I hope we can hit on it like we did with AI 20 years ago in '96. But it's such a relief and such a weight off our chest. I mean, I can't tell you how ecstatic I am.
I find this really funny. Watching the television and knowing the results of the lottery, and it's like, I don't know how they can bring all these guys in a room and do this television show when the results are already known. It's weird to me.
Yeah, the NBA is a sham to me. I hate it. The way it's set up, the way they do everything with it, I'm not a fan. I think it's hurt the league a lot, but you're right. Like, you get these guys all gathered in a room, you're waiting, but you already know the results. It's like, why? Why are you putting them through this? You're making. Did you see Brett Brown? It looked like he was just on the log flume, man. He was dripping bullets.
Yeah, well, when you watch those three lots, you had Isaiah Thomas for the Celtics and Mitch Kupchak for the Lakers, and these two guys were like just sitting there, like all pissed off. And then you got Brett Brown. He's like all giddy and excited. You knew the Sixers had the number one pick just from watching television, just from watching them.
Yeah, and it was leaked. Thank you, Mutombo, for putting that out there for us for a brief moment and deleting it. Who knows if we'll never know if it's rigged. I still think it is, but regardless, it's in our favor, so I could care less. Like, thank you for the gift.
Oh man! All right, so now the Sixers, they're gonna take either Ben Simmons or Brandon Ingram. So we're gonna debate right now who's the better prospect.
Who do you think the better I know who you want. I want Ingram.
All right, you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
All right. I want Ben Simmons. Ben fucking Simmons. All right? The next Magic Johnson. Right? Dude. All right. So the thing that I hear about Brandon Ingram is he fits our team better. I don't care about that. We just went 10 and fucking 72. You think I really care if he's a better fit for our team? No. You build this goddamn team around Ben Simmons. If he really is that once-in-a-generational type player, then that's what you do. That's what the Cleveland Cavaliers did with LeBron James. You build around the guy. So, and I think he's a fit, too, for this team because of the way he can run the break. I mean, obviously, we're more of a fast break team. He's going to run some point guards. So you build the team around him. And, yeah, I know that we got this influx of, forwards now, but that's why you got some GMs and you can trade those guys.
You can easily do that, and I'll be happy with either or. I prefer Brandon Ingram more just because of his style of play. I love his defense. I love that he can shoot. And if you look at our team, we haven't been able to shoot for freaking 3 or 4 years, and it's so brutal to watch sometimes. It's like these dudes couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. It's atrocious. We're bringing D-League guys in. Like, I want a pure shooter on this team finally. And that's what Brandon Ingram can bring you. Yeah, he's frail, but he's still young. He could put on weight. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
I didn't even say anything, but I was going to say this. All right, so the comparisons with Brandon Ingram, they say he's like Kevin Durant, right? The shooter, the 6'9" shooter. Let me throw this at you. Kevin Durant in college was 225. Brandon Ingram is only 190.
Yeah, he needs to put on a lot of weight. And I'm going to say he was younger than Durant coming out. He was 17 coming into this year. I'm pretty sure Durant was 18. And I think a year you can put on a lot of weight, so it does matter. But, they're both thin men. They can both dribble the ball. I'm not worried about it. Durant put on some weight, and so can this young kid. It'll be fine. And small ball, you know what I'm talking about? He's going to be around the perimeter. He's not going to be banging down with those bigs.
Brandon, so there's that 35-pound difference between them in college. Durant has now gone up to 240, so he's added 15 pounds to his frame since college. And I look at Ingram's frame, and I don't know how much you can really add to it. This guy is the skinniest motherfucker I've ever seen. He's a toothpick, literally.
Yeah, he literally is a toothpick. He might be 190 pounds soaking wet. And that's where Simmons has a little bit of advantage on him because he's got more of an NBA build. But Simmons can't shoot, and, he really can't play that good of defense. I think Brandon Ingram's a little bit better defensively. He's a lot longer, and I like Ingram's length and his speed. So, yeah, I'll be, like I said before, I'd be happy with either one of these guys. But Simmons not being able to shoot, it worries the hell out of me. And I don't want to have that. And we have a logjam at forward. So is he going to be playing a lot of the point? I don't know. And this is the other thing, too, with these guys. You're comparing them to two of the best players in the NBA right now. You're saying LeBron James and Kevin Durant, a la when they were coming out. So, I mean, this is just high praise for both of them. It's a lot of stress on these guys. But I think if LeBron had went to college, he would have been able to bring his team at least to the dance. And Simmons couldn't even do that. Like, where is your nature, your aggressive nature, man? Just put the team on your back and win the damn thing.
Well, Durant only got to the second round of the NCAA tournament when he was in college, and he had DJ Augustine on his team.
Still made it. He still made it.
Yeah, hell, he made it. But, I'll say this about this LSU season. There's some concern there. I can understand why people are concerned. He's on this team. I mean, if he's so good, they should make the tournament. I mean, I guess so. I mean, that team was just so bad, and it was all isolation ball. Johnny Jones is a joke of a head coach, and I mean, sure, yeah, you got to make the tournament. You're Ben Simmons, but I'm not like putting as much stock into that as say other people. Like Brandon Ingram got to play with Coach K, and he was on this great Duke team and all that, but and Simmons didn't have that. I don't know. I'm not taking as much stock into that too. And going back to your shooting point, you can learn how to shoot. All you got to do is hit the gym. Talk to Blake Griffin. He can shoot now. Serge Ibaka can shoot now. He shoots those corner threes. He shoots like 49% from deep. So Kawhi Leonard can shoot now. So he couldn't shoot in college.
No, he couldn't.
Yeah. So, in the NBA, you learn how to shoot. That's what you do, and you just work on it. Even LeBron James can shoot a little better than he normally does, or than he used to. So I think the shooting thing is a little bit overrated, and, well, it's not really his game anyway. He's not a shooter. He's going to fucking run the point for you. He's going to run the fast break. He's going to rebound the hell out of the ball. And, I mean, his vision is extraordinary. It really is.
It is. He can pass the hell out of the ball. I mean, I love his vision. His rebounding ability is great. But then again, don't you think that's a kind of like a one-dimensional player? You put a good defender on him and you stick him on the outside. If he can't drive or get to the hole, what's he going to do?
I think he can pretty much drive it whenever he wants to. Just like I think he's that good.
I hope so.
Like Ingram, when he drives the ball, he's a little slow. And, at 190 pounds, if you get some physical guys on him, I don't know how well he's going to do. He's going to settle for a lot of jump shots. And
but he got the J.
Okay. I'll say this.
Sure.
Here's the thing about his J, okay? Because he can hit a wide open shot just like anybody can. But when I watch him and like he gets a tough defender on him and he has to take contested shots, I don't necessarily always see him making them. I think his shooting ability is just a tad overrated. But that's just me.
I like his J. I think he's got the length to shoot over guys, which, it's helped a lot of guys in their career, like Dirk Nowitzki a lot of the times when he couldn't drive. I mean, he relies on his J nowadays, since he's a little bit older. But, if he can't bang with the big guys, I think he'll have a little bit of the quickness because he's a little bit thinner, to cross him over and pop that J up. So,
yeah. Well, I do like the length because, you can shoot over players. Even when defending, you could use that length to your advantage. Even though, again, the weight concerns me because if you get some physical guards going at him or physical forwards going at him, I don't know how he's going to defend them. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, people are like, well, he's Kevin Durant. They said the same thing about his weight, about Kevin Durant. But this guy, again, let me say it again. He is 35 pounds lighter than what Durant was in college. 35 pounds.
They're big shoes to fill for both of these kids. One LeBron James, the other one's the second coming of Kevin Durant, just because of their styles of play and some of their physical builds. So it's not really fair to do that to them, but this is the world we live in. This is what happens. So if they live up to be the next two of them, great, man. I mean, we'll be sitting pretty with either or. But we'll have to see what the Sixers do, make this decision, because it's going to be crucial, because this is going to define our franchise for the next, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. So, I think Ingram is going to be a disappointment. That is my big, bold prediction for this draft. I would rather have Chris Dunn than Brandon Ingram. That's me. But not a lot of people are going to agree with me. And I'm sure if people are going to be watching this video, they're going to be like, Adrian, you're a fucking idiot. That's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. But I see Brandon Ingram like being like an OJ Mayo type. Like people thought OJ Mayo was going to be like the next Jordan. And he was just, 15, 16 points per game, that kind of guy. That's kind of what I'm seeing with Ingram. I'm seeing the same kind of player. Yeah,
OJ had one good year there where he was averaging like 25 points a game. He's pretty much just a utility player at this point. But I don't know. I just see a lot of bright spots in this kid's game, and I just hope it works out for him, because to be the second coming of Kevin Durant would just put so much praise on this. And we need a superstar on this team. We really do. I don't think we have one now. We don't know what Embiid's going to be. So to get this number one pick, it's so big for the franchise. So we can't swing and miss.
Yeah. Like, I think Ben Simmons is the one superstar in this draft, but at the same time, I think that Simmons has more bust potential than Ingram. So I'll say that.
He could be a huge bust, but it all depends on his work ethic too. Like, once you are this pick, are you going to work hard enough to be the best? It's that inside mentality. You got to just grab the bull by the horns and fucking kill it. So I hope he's got that killer instinct. I don't see it. I question that and his leadership. But the physical tools are they're there.
Does Brandon Ingram have the killer instinct?
Oh, I definitely think he's got the killer instinct, because when the best player on Duke's team went down, he put Duke on his back and led them all the way to what did they make it, to the Sweet 16, I think, or the Elite 8? Because Emile Jefferson was supposed to be the stud at Duke, and here you got this young, gangly 17-year-old that nobody really knew, was he going to be anything special? Looked a little rough in the first couple games, but then, the dude just went on fire and put himself in the position to be the top number one pick, or fight for the number one pick this year.
I mean, he had some really good games. And then there were games that I've seen that he's had 10 turnovers, and that is just way too many. But
growing pains.
Yeah, I guess so. But the other thing, too, the other topic to bring up, Duke players in the past have not really translated too well to the NBA, except for maybe like Kyrie Irving is one. But last 10, 15 years, I mean, these Duke kids, they come into the NBA, and how many of them really pan out?
They don't. I mean, and I hate to judge players off of what school they went to, because I don't think that matters. But a lot of them, they get higher praise because they went to, that great college. Duke's got a tradition of producing this powerhouse of players that came out. But as of late, they haven't. As of Kyrie Irving, probably the last one to come out of there that's really been something special. Jabari Parker, we don't really know of yet. It's too soon to see what he turns into, but he's kind of been a whiff and a miss so far. So we'll just have to see what happens. I didn't like Evan Turner coming out of Ohio State, but look at Mike Conley. He's a freaking underrated player. I think he's a stud. I think he's one of the best point guards in the league. So I try not to judge those guys off of what college they go to. So fingers crossed. LSU's had what? Big Shaq. I don't think they've had anybody else, have they?
Glenn Davis, Big Baby.
Big Baby. He was decent.
Cyrus Thomas. I mean, no, they haven't. I mean, well, that's a school that, it's LSU. It's not Duke.
Right.
They did get Pete Maravich, went to LSU back in the day. But Pete Maravich, Shaq, I don't know, Tyrus Thomas. Who else went to LSU that's in the NBA? There's others. I know there are. I just can't think of them. I got 4, though, right now.
Yeah, but you're right.
Who else went to LSU?
He had the choice to go anywhere he wanted. He could have went to Kentucky, but I feel like he wanted to go to LSU to show I'm this superior talent. Watch me bring this. No, nothing.
Well, it's because there was a connection with LSU with his father, I believe. That's why he went to
What
LSU.
it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what that whole thing is about. And the other thing, he's Australian. Brett Brown is, Aussie guy basically. So I just see Simmons. He's going to be the guy.
He could be, and this happened a couple years ago when we had Brett Brown, and he coached in Australia with the Australian kids, and we didn't take the kid that the Jazz took, thank God. I can't think of his name right now, but he's a bum.
Dante Exum.
Yeah, Dante Exum, and he hasn't flourished into nothing, so they had that connection going, but, I mean, obviously Ben Simmons is a more superior talent than Dante Exum, so.
Yeah. Well, that is, the Aussie thing is where I bring this point along, is because he's not from this country. He the NBA to him is probably not as pristine as say the American kids. Maybe I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. But I don't know. Do you take any into that at all? I just kind of butchered that. But do you understand? Do you understand the question?
Maybe. I mean, you're trying to say the game isn't as predominantly big over there. The competition isn't as good.
No, I'm saying does he love the NBA as much as say the kids in America do?
Oh,
I
think so because he left. I mean, he lived in Australia, so I feel like he does. I feel like he wants to have the best of the best. He wants to play against the best to prove if he's that good. So, yeah, I think so. I think the passion's there.
Okay, the only reason why I asked that too is because at LSU again they didn't make the tournament, and that is concerning. All right, that is concerning. But I watched this kid, and I watched this kid very, very intently throughout the whole fucking year, and I don't know. I see it. I can see what you're saying with the killer instinct. I can see that, the lack of it, but the talent that he has, the way he'll get a rebound, he'll go right down the floor. And it's just it's an easy transition bucket every time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. I want to see that on a consistent basis, though. And he didn't really do that at LSU. So that kind of worries me a little bit. He didn't want to, put the captain letter on his chest and just dominate the game when I feel like he could have easily. So that's what I just kind of question there a little bit.
He did dominate at times, but at the same time, he didn't have that killer instinct also. So I agree with you. He'll go for 5-minute stretches where he just takes over the game, and then he kind of stops,
and then he just disappears. It's like he'll have a 46-point game with 20 rebounds, and then the next game will go for 10 points and 5 rebounds. It's how do you go from this to that? And it's not like he was playing, high echelon talent there. I mean, a lot of the games, the guys he was playing, he didn't fare too well, especially when he was playing ACC teams and stuff. He didn't really have big games at all when he was playing the, top echelon of college teams out there, like the Dukes and teams of that sort, and the Kentuckys and such.
Yeah. Now I'm going to look up to see what his game log is like. But what were we just talking about? I kind of blanked for a second because I'm looking this up.
We were talking about does he have that killer instinct, and we're worried about if he's going to be that superstar type of player. Because if you're going to be a superstar type of player, you have to have that.
Yeah.
And he would just disappear at games. He would have good games and then highs and lows. And he wasn't playing, great teams.
Well, Ingram had that too. Ingram was like that.
True.
Let's see.
I guess much on the same basis.
He went 14-9-5 against Oklahoma. I mean, you're not going to get much better than Oklahoma.
He'd play Southern Mississippi State. He'd be playing a lot of these, no-name colleges and struggle.
Kentucky, he went 14-10.
They weren't that good this year.
Kentucky was pretty good.
They were okay.
Kentucky, 17-11, 7 steals, 4 assists. I don't know. He seems to have pretty good numbers against the better competition.
But not like the 46s he was putting up against those other scrub teams. That's what I want to see.
Competition. Against Vanderbilt, he went for 36-14.
Okay, see, there you go.
Well, Vanderbilt was a tournament team.
They're okay. My point was just saying that he didn't dominate on a level like that consistently. So if you're putting it up against Vanderbilt, I want to see you do that against Oklahoma, Kentucky, everybody.
Well, he went 14-9 against Oklahoma. That's not bad. I remember watching that game too. Oh, dude, that was a really good game. LSU and Oklahoma at home, and I believe LSU.
Close.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was one of the better games I saw all season. It was a game that LSU should have won. They didn't. Kind of lost it at the end. So I mean, I'm seeing. I mean, he's got numbers all the way around. But let's see, even 28-17 against Florida. That's insane. These numbers are insane. I don't know, man. I like him.
That's just my feeling. So we'll see what happens. So it leads us to the next point, though. Is there a logjam if they do take Ben Simmons? What do they do? Do they try? I think they could trade Okafor with another one of those other picks that we have for Miami or OKC, package it up, and then trade it to maybe Boston.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. Put Okafor on Boston, and let's go get either Chris Dunn, Jamal Murray, or Buddy Hield.
Since we got screwed out of that Lakers pick, let's do it. I mean, we don't really need Okafor, especially if Embiid. This is all hinging on if Embiid is healthy, which they say he is. Get rid of Okafor. They'll have a proven guy at number 3, like he was last year, and they need a center too.
Well, here's why you can get rid of Okafor. So you'll have Noel. He's definitely one forward. You'll have Simmons. That's another forward. Now your other forward, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Embiid? Or is it going to be Dario Saric? So you've got 2 opportunities with 2 players to get a starter there. It's probably going to be Embiid, most likely. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, there's your front court, and you don't need Okafor anymore. So trade him.
Trade him. I mean, he didn't really help. He didn't really fit into our system with the run and gun system that we're trying to run here. So, I mean, I feel like he's a liability. I would be okay with trading him. I want to keep Noel, and I like to keep Embiid. And Saric is coming over. So I think it makes the best sense for us to do that. Even if the same thing with Ingram. If we draft Ingram, same thing. But I feel like if you draft Ingram, you got to go out and get a Chris Dunn. If you draft, let's say, a Ben Simmons, you go out and get maybe a Jamal Murray or a Buddy Hield.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, because I agree with you there. So, because Chris, you're not going to take Ben Simmons and Chris Dunn because those are 2 ball handlers there. So, out of Murray or Hield, who do you go with?
I'm going with Hield. Big shot, Hield right there. I just love his stroke. I think he's got one of the best strokes since Steph Curry coming out. Yes, I said it. Steph Curry coming out. I think he's a great 2 guard. He's got a lot of experience. He played his senior year. A lot of kids don't do that anymore, which I think is also hurting the NBA with these one and dones. But he's got the experience, and I just love his shot. He came up so big throughout the whole year, except when they played Villanova, which was just, which kind of sucked because I had him winning it, but, happy for Villanova. But I know you like Jamal Murray.
Oh, I love Jamal Murray. I love Jamal Murray. He kind of reminds me of Ben Gordon a little bit, the way he can play off the ball, the way he can shoot the ball. He was a kid that played point guard at Kentucky to start the year. They moved him off the ball. And he was really good off the ball. So he's got some handles. He can get to the 10. He's got a variety of floaters that he can go to. He's very smart. And he's a really good shooter. So if you have Simmons, driving the lane, there you go. Drive and kick, and Murray's your shooter. I mean, you can do that with Hield too, obviously. But I don't know. I feel like Murray is a little bit more versatile than Hield. I'm a little bit worried about Hield going up against NBA quality defenders like a Russell Westbrook. Are you going to be able to get that shot off like you did in college? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's not like Steph Curry because Steph Curry has handles, but he doesn't have the handles like he does.
Right. I wasn't comparing him to Steph Curry, just his release.
No, the release. Yeah, he's got a really, really quick release. It's probably going to be the 2nd quickest release in the NBA behind Curry. 3rd behind Curry and Thompson. Yeah, I was about to say. Don't forget about those guys. So, I mean, it's just an exciting time in Sixers franchise. Finally, we can get this rebuild going. Yeah, and you made the comparison of Klay Thompson and Buddy Hield earlier. Why did you say that?
Just because you were saying that you didn't think he could be able to drive by defenders, but I think he can be taught that. Just like you were saying Simmons could be taught how to shoot, you can also teach somebody how to drive because Klay Thompson coming out could only shoot. He had a great stroke but couldn't drive, and look at him now. He can do both. So, it's all about the will of having it and the talent, and I think they both have that.
Yeah. I mean, I like Hield. I think Hield's going to be good. I just really like Jamal Murray. I really like his game. So that's just me. I think Murray can score in a lot more ways than Hield can. Hield's kind of like a one-trick pony to me. I know a lot of people love him, and people are probably disagreeing with me again. But I'm a little bit worried about Hield. Just saying.
He can hit the big shots.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can translate that and turn his, driving to the cup a lot better instead of just relying on that shot, because then he'll be a one-dimensional player.
So, yeah, I like Murray. We'll see what happens with that. But definitely look out for that come draft night. Number 3 pick, Boston, especially since they didn't get into the top 2. For them, they might think like Okafor is a better prospect than anybody that's in the draft. So.
Exactly, and they wanted him so bad last year, and we didn't do it. And I think this might be the time that we pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're going to do it, you got to do it now. Because I feel like Okafor is just a little tad overrated. He put up some good stats this year on a bad team. I don't think he can defend. So so I wouldn't mind getting rid of him.
No, he can't play defense, and I want a guy that can defend. His post moves are, bar none, close to some of the best I've seen. I mean, he's a great talent. It's just I'd ship him off. And you look at Boston; they've got a slew of picks, so they could take this chance. I mean, doing that deal with Brooklyn, I mean, they've got so many picks coming their way, so they might want to do this, and I would love to see this happen. So bye Okafor. Let's get this going.
I think there's a really good chance this happens. I really do. I really feel that way.
And I feel like he doesn't want to be here either, Okafor. It just seemed that way all year. Just his attitude, the way he played. I mean, I'm a season ticket holder, and just the attitude he had towards the fans during the games. He was basically thought he was playing for nothing. All the trouble he got into, it was just they had to bring Brandon to babysit him. I mean, it's like, grow up, bro. Like, you're in the NBA. Yeah, you lose. Like, yeah, you went to Duke and won a state champion or won the national championship, won a state champion in high school. It happens. That's what I don't get with some of these players, man. Like, you're getting drafted top 3. You're going to go to a bad team. You're not going to a championship team. What do you expect? Losing happens, so suck it up. Go cry with Sam Bradford.
Oh, God. Sam Bradford. Don't even get me started on him.
The 2 crybabies can go sit in the corner.
Oh, God, Sam fucking Bradford. Oh, this is a Sixers show. All right. We have the 24th and 26th picks in the draft. Now, we just discussed about possibly trading them to, with Okafor to try to get up to number 3. But if we do stay at number 24 and number 26, who are some prospects you think might be going to the Who are some guys you like? Because it's kind of hard right now. Like, who are the late round prospects?
Oh, man, that's tough. Maybe take a chance on like a Thon Maker, athletic guy. I like the kid coming out of, or maybe Tyler Ulis. Is that his name? Out of Kentucky, because we need a point guard. But I honestly think we're going to trade them. I don't think we're going to – I think when Sam was thinking of this, he was going to use them to package them. But I would like to see maybe a Tyler Ulis. I think he's a really solid point guard. We're not going to get any big man. I'm trying to think who's a really solid shooter. The kid out of Syracuse, his name is slipping my mind right now.
Yeah, that's one of my names, Malachi Richardson.
Yeah, Malachi Richardson. I think we could, take a flower out on him too. But we just need front court. Yeah, front court help. Backcourt help.
Backcourt help. Wait, we don't have no front court help. We have fucking 18 centers.
Yeah, I slipped my mind. We need front court help so much, man. So we need shooters. So I would take if we do keep him. But Thon Maker can shoot too, and he's eligible for the draft. So I think he's a special prospect. Do you have anybody on your list? I mean, I want to think about.
I got some names. Like I like Malachi Richardson of Syracuse. You brought him up already. There's another kid I really like from Vanderbilt. He's a point guard. His name is Wade Baldwin. He plays like Westbrook. I'm not saying he is Westbrook, but he plays like Westbrook. The attitude that he plays with and just the aggressiveness that he plays with. And the shot kind of looks similar. So Wade Baldwin would be a guy. DeAndre Bembry, I'd think about taking him in the first round, late first round. And just like as a niche player, because we need some defense, Michael Benajay of Syracuse is another one. Yeah. So, and he's like a corner shooter.
Oh, okay. So that would be solid. Yeah, I can't think of some of these guys off the top of my head just because we've been doing so much football draft right now. So we could do another show on some guys that we could get some prospects on a late prospect or draft in the later rounds. I don't know. You think Henry Ellison possibly falls that far, or do you think he goes top 10?
I don't think he falls that far. I mean, I see him like mid first round though. So hey, you never know. Like you think. See, that's the thing too. Is like if guys fall, I want the better prospect than a fucking guard. Like say Bryce Johnson or something falls. I'm taking Bryce Johnson over Tyler Ulis. You know what I mean? I'm taking Denzel Valentine over. Denzel is a shooting guard / small forward, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean he can shoot. I would love to have Denzel on the team. Absolutely, and I like the point guard out of Notre Dame too.
Yeah, Demetrius Jackson.
Yeah, I mean he's a quick, speedy guy, kind of the guy that came out last year. I can't think of his name either. Man, I'm just drawing blanks left and right tonight. But yeah, we need point guard help if we don't take it. Do you think God, how much of a surprise would it be if they did take a Chris Dunn or a Heel at number 1? Which I'm saying is never going to happen. But I mean, God, now that Sammy's gone, we got Brian Colangelo. That's something to worry about. You look at his picks that he did with Toronto. I mean, he could easily screw this up big time, man. I mean, I think it's kind of a layup, though. Andrea Bargnani. Yikes. Yikes. He was there for 6 years, and that was definitely his biggest fault. I think he had one good guy that he drafted, DeMar DeRozan, who could be a Sixers, but he stated that he wants to go out west.
Too, is like if they can always get a point guard in free agency. They don't necessarily need to go in the draft. Or maybe, there was talk about them getting like Dennis Schroeder during the season. Maybe that's a trade that they can go back to. So get Dennis Schroeder.
Well, he's a free agent this upcoming season.
Oh, well, there you go. So we're going to sign him.
Or they were talking about us trading Okafor to L.A. for, the guy we were going to take last year. Yeah, which I don't want anything of.
I don't want D'Angelo Russell. I'm done with him. I don't want him.
I'm done with him too. They were talking about that too. So, I mean, they have so many options, and that's what's great to see. Hinkie put us in the best possible position. So, Colangelo, you better not fuck this up.
Yeah. We're the only ones in Philadelphia that still want Sam Hinkie here.
That's right. Yeah, everybody was on the train to get him out of here, but he has put us in this position. So thank you, Sam, for everything that you've done. You deserve all the credit.
Sam, for getting us Ben Simmons. Thank you.
Thank you.
All hail. All hail.
You should have been here to see your plan through, but they screwed you over.
God, we're going to win a title, and they're going to credit the Colangelos when it wasn't really them.
Absolutely, and if it's a bust, Hinkie's going to get the blame. It's just how it rolls. It's BS, man. It's crap.
Oh, boy. All right. What else is there to talk about today? We're already 30 minutes in. Anything else you want to mention, talk about? Pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now that we didn't get the Lakers pick again, though, I think we get one more shot of it being top 3 protected before it turns into 2 second-round picks. So I think we have one more chance at that for that MCW trade, which I'm happy happened too, just to get a shot at that. But I think we've got 2017 and then 2018. I think it turns into 2 second-round picks.
Let me see if I'm going to see if I can find that. I'm not sure. Are you 100% sure about that?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I want to say I'm about 70% sure.
Okay.
Because it was top 5 protected last year, and I'm pretty sure it's 2 years protected top 3.
I think it might be. I think you might be right. Trying to find this out. Come on. Here we go. Okay, here you go. All right, top 3 protected next year, unprotected 2018.
Yeah,
so there you go. So there you go. There is your clarification. All right, I guess that's it. Any final thoughts before we get out?
I can't wait for this draft to happen. Now that we find out where we're picking, I want the draft to come right now. I want these playoffs to be over with. Let the Warriors win their 2nd championship back-to-back, and let's get to this draft and take Brandon Ingram, bro, so we can get this rebuild started in the right way.
I will echo everything you just said, except I want Ben Simmons.
All right, there we go. And we'll have you're entitled to your opinion. So we'll see. We'll have a little wager going on. We'll see who's the better player in 5 years.
We'll see who's right in 5 years. They'll probably both be fucking multiple-time All-Stars, MVPs. It's gonna be instead of instead of Bird and Magic, it's gonna be Simmons and Ingram.
I love it. It's clarity to my ears. I love the sound of it. And they're going to be rocking the Sixers uniform with the little StubHub logo right on the right side. All right.
All right. With that being said, that's Kyle Gaffner. I'm Adrian FedQ. Sorry, LA. No.
No, buddy.